What's your biology, zoology background, or at least like where did these fascinations start? And then how was it for you to be able to have this playground to just sort of mess around with it to your own desires?
Well, I mean, honestly, as well as Doctor Who novels, I grew up on David Attenborough and nature documentaries, and that
Mm,
was I've always had a great affinity, especially for the sorts of animals that most people don't necessarily like, and hence, spiders, octopuses, all manner of bug-like stuff that has come up in my writing. Um, I started on a zoology degree. I did zoology, psychology to start with, moved on to full psychology because, honestly, mostly because they're the practical element to biology that involves hacking up animals that I wasn't very good at or particularly happy with. Um, the study is really an outgrowth of my initial interest, though. It didn't sort of my interest in things wasn't kindled at university. In fact, unfortunately, a lot of the ground I would like to have covered just didn't turn up in any of the courses on offer. I mean, certainly, I mean, the animal behavior aspect of psychology that we were being taught at the time was profoundly disillusioning. For example, so
mm. How so?
so there wasn't much of it, but the primary kind of mode of thought we were being taught was following on from a guy called Skinner, whose kind of theory was animals don't think; they're just kind of complex machines responding to
Mm,
stimuli. Humans probably don't think. I don't whether Skinner thought that he himself thought. I don't know, but it just kind of certainly the way it was being taught at the university I was at, it was just kind of like this is just. I mean, whilst I can see it's probably quite convenient if you then want to go ahead and experiment on a bunch of animals, it's just it's so reductive as to be useless and unpalatable to me.
right.
And since then there's been a lot more. I mean, I think the field seems to have expanded quite a lot since I was at uni. Certainly, a lot of the research I've read since has been absolutely fascinating. But um, it's it was very much in the midst of that heyday of you're not allowed to anthropomorphize at all, and therefore you can't talk about animals thinking or feeling or anything like that. You just have to describe what they do. And while I appreciate from a kind of a hard quantitative science level why that came about, I think that particular way of thinking about things kind of set back that particular area of thought by several decades.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
like
that's
this.
just me.
It's like this. No, I mean, it's like the reductiveness of that stubborn attitude doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily constitute a good approach to the complexities of something like consciousness, right?
Mm,
Where our conception of consciousness is just like based on what we perceive as humans and how we interact with one another, but it's very hard to place yourself in the head of an animal and understand like what kind of consciousness does this animal encapsulate,
yeah,
beyond the
which is obviously.
beyond the mere like machine complexity that someone like Skinner would propose, right?
Yeah, so I mean, and obviously from the point of view of me going on to write from the point of view of non-human sort of characters, there's absolutely nothing in that kind of Skinnerian mode that's of any use whatsoever. So,
Hmm.
because the whole point is to get inside the head of those things and to write them as different but still kind of plausible living thinking beings that you can be interested in rather than just kind of like a sequence of ones and zeros.